All right, in today's video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to properly clean. We're going to start from the start and then gradually work our way through the clean. Grip width doesn't really matter. As long as you don't go so wide that your elbows are starting to cave in like this, you're probably fine. And what we want is a straight back. You want to be roughly 45 degrees with your femur. Now from here, what we want to do is essentially push the ground away. This would be me hinging off of the floor. What I want you to notice is my knee. So in order to get around my knees, I either have to shoot my butt in the air like this, and now I have no power when I reach the power position, or I have to continue to scrape around my knee, and now when I go to make contact with the barbell, I jump forward. This is me pushing the ground away and using my quads. See how my knee moves back and clears out of the way of the barbell? What you'll notice is that in my start position, my weight is evenly distributed across my entire foot. Now when I push to the knee position, see how my toes are off the ground? My weight is in my heels. Now what you'll do is you'll continue pulling the bar higher, and as you pull the bar higher, return to the balance in the middle of your foot. See how I have bend in my knees, bend in my hips, and angle in my hips. I'm in my full foot, I jump. Now I acknowledge the fact that that probably doesn't make any sense right now. So grab a broomstick and try it at home. So going back through it, full foot. At the knee, I'm in the back of the foot. I redirect my pressure till I am in my full foot again. My foot across my toes, heel, everything is evenly distributed weight-wise. From here, once I feel that the weight has returned to my entire foot, I jump. That's it. It's just jumping straight up. After you make contact and you fully extend, I'm shrugged, I'm on my tippy toes, I've jumped fully. Here's the thing. You don't do nothing with your arms after contact, right? You don't do this. See how I'm chasing the bar to the bottom position? Instead, what I do is I make contact and I use my arms to guide the barbell to my shoulders. I don't do this. I don't fall onto the barbell. I don't fall into the receiving position. I'm guiding my body underneath of the bar. Now, when you receive the barbell, pay close attention. Notice how the bar is on my shoulders. See how I can make a gap? It's on my shoulder. It's kind of hard to breathe. You don't want it here because you'll pass out. Now, I can do that with a hook grip, right? It hurts, but I can do it. Or you could do it without the hook grip, and that'll give you a little bit of extra room. If that doesn't work, you can go to fingertips. My favorite stretches are this one, behind the head, bounce up and down, and clean with straps. If you have straps, warm up with some cleans with straps, or front squat with straps.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I have now made it inside and out of the shed. Right here I've got my teaching tool, and what we're going to be doing is looking at some clean techniques. Specifically, my clean techniques from when I was younger. Nice, what do we got here? We got a nice lawnmower in the background, we got a bicycle, we got the side-by-side, some goose decoys. This is nice. Let's just see what it looks like, and we'll review the technique. Yeah, I don't know about that one. My start off the floor is not smooth. This was back when I would just kind of yank the bar off the floor. You shouldn't be doing that. You should not just yank the bar off the floor. You should, like, imagine squeezing the bar off of the floor. Just kind of yank it. Now see how I immediately lose position after yanking the bar off the ground. My start position is not correct. If we go back here, see this angle? That's too low. Like I said earlier in the video, we want to see a 45-degree angle. That is not 45 degrees. So that's not good, okay? Immediately, I don't like the start position. If I had started in this current position like this, that would be much better because my knees would have to move a lot less distance in order to clear out of the way of the barbell. I actually like this. This isn't bad. I'm a little bit far over the barbell, but like overall, this isn't terrible. Now, where this really sucks is like right after this. But see how fast my butt shoots in the air? Instead of being like a clean, smooth transition, my start position is just too low, and so my knees come back way too fast off of the floor. See how straight my legs are? That's not super ideal, because when we get to the power position, that means that we don't have enough angle in our knees to be able to properly jump. If I remember correctly, I just kind of scrape my thighs way too far forward. See how I'm bringing my hips into the barbell? And I'm on my, you can't, let me see if I can adjust this. See how I'm on my toes? I'm on my toes too early, which is why I jump back. Right here, I'm on my toes. I haven't even made contact with the barbell, and I'm on my toes. That's not good. Remember how I said we want to shift our balance gradually back to the middle of the foot and then jump? Instead, what I'm doing is I'm kind of just smashing the bar with my thighs. So I guarantee I jump back. Yeah. This is filmed in 9x16, by the way, not 16x9 or whatever, so receiving position is actually fantastic. Like, that's really good. My hips are back. My hips are perfect. It's right in the middle of the thigh if you look at where the barbell lines up. And my elbows, you can't see it, but they're really high up. I used to have better mobility than I have now. Overall, this clean, I would give it like a 6 out of 10. Start position is too low. That if I fix my start position, I guarantee this would be a better clean. And also, I'm into my toes too early, which is why I jump back instead of jumping straight up. Now, going back in time even further, this technique sucks. All right, this is, if somebody came to me with this technique, I'm kidding. That's not true. But this technique does suck. Do not replicate this technique. We are only learning from this. Let's watch. This is when I was like, ooh, I was probably 15. But let's just watch. This, okay, right off the bat, this start position is horrible. So I used to think I was Tian Tao and that I could start with my legs 90 degrees and just like scrape up my thighs. So I was trying to replicate Chinese weightlifting technique. It doesn't work with my proportions. So yeah, it probably doesn't work with anybody besides the Chinese. I have too much extension in my back. Like that's too extended. All right, here we go. Slow it down. Let's slow it down. We can learn from this. First thing that happens is my butt shoots up off of the floor. That's not good. You're going to notice here, I have no power in the power position. In the position when you're supposed to jump, as I said earlier, you'll notice that like I just kind of scrape the bar up my thighs. I don't have a very good contact with the barbell. So the reason that your butt shooting up is so incorrect is because it limits your power and you're actually losing to the barbell. If you go back to geometry, if you remember that, weightlifting is actually a lot of angles. So if you think about it, as you lose the position in your spine like this, you're actually losing speed with the barbell. So as you pull the barbell off the ground, as your butt comes up, you can essentially think of it like this, like it's teetering, right? Like as your butt comes off the ground and your chest goes down, your shoulders actually get lower to the ground. And as that happens, you're actually losing direction and losing speed to the bar, if that makes sense. You're losing distance. You're putting twice as much effort into moving a bar half as far. So you'll notice that like I start really aggressive and then I actually slow down as my butt comes into the air. And I'm going to be at a horrendous angle at the knee. Also, I have too much bend in my arms. So normally what you'll see happens is their butt shoots in the air and then the bar drifts forward, which is kind of what we saw earlier I got around that by bending my arms. So you can see I have too much bend in my arms. My butt shoots way off the ground. My start position is too low. Also, we want our toes parallel in the start of the clean. My toes are like this. If you want your knees to travel back off the floor, you need to have your toes parallel. Fuck, dude, why did I think that this was good? I'm embarrassed to even include this in the video, but we have to learn. So notice how, I have no power, right? My extension actually isn't that bad. So back at the knee position, no power. I pretty much just scrape the bar up my thighs. Another thing you'll notice, 9 times out of 10 when people have arm bend in the clean, after they make contact, they straighten their arms. Loses distance on the barbell. So you're actually not pulling it higher when you bend your arms. You're actually making the bar go lower. Let me stand up and show you. They're really tight and they bend their arms and they scrape, and then after they make contact, they straighten their arms. Which is exactly what happens here. See how now my arms are straight? If you maintain just a tad bit of bend, it's fine, which you'll see later, because I do bend my arms just a little bit in my clean. This much arm bend is unacceptable. Good catch position. My heels are too narrow, though. Like, see how I have, my heels are too narrow, my toes are pointed out. It's like a very, it's not a very stable position. Look at my mobility. Holy crap, I could not do that. Look at how far over my toes my knees are. My knees are way over my toes. Ideally, my feet would be a little bit wider so that my hips could sit between my heels a little bit. You can see I'm very upright when I catch the barbell. We actually want to be just a little bit pitched forward. Not much to where you're going to lose the bar, but like a tad bit. Watch this jerk. Big inhale. That wasn't horrible. Actually good clean technique. This is my most recent heaviest clean at 302 pounds or 137 kilograms. Watch this jerk too. Hold on. I'm proud of this. Yeah. I was turned up that day. That day was it's one of my favorite weightlifting days. So still kind of have that yank off the floor that I have in the past 2 videos. I don't know if I'll ever be able to fix that. You can see my toes are exactly parallel. And what that's going to allow me to do is move my knees back out of the way faster. It's literally just, if your toes are pointed out, your knees are going to be pointed out. And so they would have to move in order to go back, right? So they have to move in and back. And that is really hard to do. So that's why I prefer toes parallel, especially if you have longer femurs like me. If you have really short femurs, then you can get away with toes out, but I digress. You can see here at the knee, my heel, not all the way to where my toes are off the ground, but I'm in my heel. You can see here my arms are straight, right? And this is where I'm going to start redirecting my pressure from the back of my foot. Like if this was my foot, if my hand was my foot, I'm going to start redirecting pressure from the back of my foot to the middle of my foot. And then once I feel the pressure hit the middle of my foot, I jump. And let me slow it down. Yank off the floor, big yank. So you can see here, straight off the floor, my knees are moving back. In the heels. Now here, the bar is kind of far from my knees. This is probably my worst position in the clean. I kind of get far away from the bar passing the knee. I don't know, that bar is probably that far from me, which isn't great. Ideally, the bar's a little bit closer, but what are you going to do? See here, this is where I redirect my pressure. Contact at the upper thigh, and right here, this is the moment when I jump straight up, and you'll see my extension underneath. And you can see when the cleans get really heavy, that bar is not going to move very far off of your thighs. This is where a lot of people focus too much on strength. I'm a very fast weightlifter compared to a lot of people, and that's kind of my redeeming quality. I'm actually not very strong. I hate to say it because, it's not cool, but I'm not very strong. But you'll see here, the bar does not move very far after contact. And if you keep pulling on that barbell, it's not going to get you anywhere. Which is why after contact, you need to just pull underneath of the bar. I haven't talked about this much in the video, but you need a certain kind of aggression to do a good clean, and especially a good clean and jerk. You just have to be, you just have to have like anger and hate in your heart. If you ever want to just like go up to drywall and then just like headbutt the drywall, that kind of aggression, that's kind of what you need for a good clean. But you need to be aggressive, okay? Nobody who is very lackadaisical. Adjective to describe someone who lacks enthusiasm, spirit, or lackadaisical. You can't be lackadaisical with your cleans, okay? If you're lackadaisical, I love that word. That's such a good word. You just gotta be just. You know what I mean? Oh, one more thing. When you receive the barbell, tighten your abs as hard as possible. When that bar hits you, you need to have a tight core or else your back is going to round and then you'll lose the bar. You'll dump the bar forward. Make contact, loosen up your core a little bit, and then right before that bar hits you, tighten your abs really hard. That's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. That is the most important thing. So guys, get out there, get aggressive, get under some heavy cleans and improve yourself. That's what we need to do. We need to be getting under heavy cleans, improving ourselves like a raging bull. Get out there, go be a raging bull, terrorize your local gym with some heavy cleans, go be obnoxious. I'll see you guys later. Just because you guys made it this far into the video, I want to give you a little gift. If you want to DM me a video on Instagram, I'll review your clean, your snatch, or your jerk. Maybe don't send me a video of your jerk. You guys know what I'm talking about. Send me some technique videos on Instagram. I will give you guys some free feedback, and I'll let you know what I would work on if I was in your position and some good cues and pointers. All right, now get out there and do some heavy lifting.